So when you set your priorities, you put the Lord right at the top. And so what is God saying into your life, into your generation, your priorities? So Gail and I, all of our married life, we just decided if we're having a good day or a bad day, we are church people, and we are going to learn the Bible, and we are going to seek the Lord. And we are going to live in His life-giving Spirit. So 12 years ago, when we went through the darkest stages of our life, we did not follow. I mean, they said we were going to get sick. We didn't get sick. They said we were going to go through horrible things. They described them. We didn't go through any of that. Do you know why? It's because even during the most horrific things that could ever happen to a person, we read our Bibles every day, we prayed every day, and we went to a local church every Sunday. And we tithed, and we didn't have enough money. We didn't have money coming in, so I just started giving under the idea of sowing and reaping. And so when I would give, people would say, no, you don't have the ability to do that. Don't do it. And I said, oh, no, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me because I have a future, and I want to sow good seed now for my future. All right, so I was purely selfish in all this. You got to get it. And so I established, and I tell my kids, all my kids go to church. All right, and I tell my kids, I don't go to church. I don't go to church for fun, even though it is fun for me. And I don't participate in the Lord's things for fun. I do it for life. I do it for the infusion of life. I am let's see, how does Luther call it? How did Luther describe himself? Sincerely, his sin? You quote it all the time. Yeah, caught you off guard. Okay. You were thinking about how handsome I am and how you want to go home. Okay, so stop it. Okay, so anyway, establish the Lord right at the top, just set it. So think about it. You're in a church that's handing out comfort, ministry of the Holy Spirit, and Jesus' faithfulness. When your Bibles, read it yourself. Don't trust other people to do that for you. All right? And a study Bible. Don't just casually read it. Know why it says what it says. Those are the messages. Okay? And pray for good people that are going to go over. Terry and Ralph are intercessory prayer people. They need to be right there in Seoul, South Korea during this stage. You see? And so those are important. Then the second priority is your family. Do not make your family above God, because your family will have good days and bad days. Your family will have disappointments and hurts and wonderful victories. Your family is subservient to your devotion to God. Now, that doesn't mean you beat them with a Bible. That doesn't mean you preach to them all the time. Here's what the God devotion means to me. It means consistency and a steady goodness. All right, so if we have 5 children, if not one of them went to church, and if Gail said, I don't believe that stuff, I'm not going to church, it would not faze me. I'd go to church every Sunday, I would tithe, I would give, but I would not nag them. Lots of times Christian people with God at the top end up nagging their kids and their family so much, they drive them crazy. I don't think we need to be nags. I think we just need to be consistent. Okay, so when I tell you, when we had our most glorious days and we had our most evil, wicked, horrible days, we went to church every Sunday. Doesn't mean we got the same things out of it, but we went. Why? Because all I wanted to communicate during that time was, I don't know what my kids' lives are going to be like in 30, 40, 50 years, but I want them to know how to be consistent on their very worst day. I want them to know how to have principles. And you all know enough to know that's not going to happen through a lecture. And it's not going to happen through nagging. And as they get older, after you and I are in our graves, and they'll be older, they'll reflect on, well, I can tell you, Gail gets up before I do in the mornings, and she sits in the same chair every morning and reads her Bible. The kids didn't get up that early. I don't know that any of them have ever seen her much doing that. She's always there when I get up. Okay, but they all talk about it. Mom gets up and reads her Bible and prays for every one of us by name every day. Okay, all my kids write to Miss Margaret. Okay, because Miss Margaret has been praying for my kids by name since August of 1984. Some of you young people think, I wasn't even born yet. That's my point. Okay? And so because of it, when our family goes through a weird time, they just think about Miss Margaret. Now, they don't communicate that much with her. I mean, they don't have that much in common. They're in different age groups. Okay? But it's a source of stability for their foundation. And Jim is a nice enough guy. He funds it. And so that stability there. See, everybody say stability. Everybody say consistency. No matter what. All right, so that's why God is at the top. It's not so you can nag. It's not so you can be holier than thou. It's so you communicate consistency and in life into your family. So you have the wisdom to not frustrate your boys and your girls, not embitter them. The Bible warns against that, but be a consistent, steady mom and dad.